What time is it? It's time to cook with Janet Bari, the domestic chef. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with me, Janet Bari. It's been about 3 months. It's also been about 3 months since I've had a glass of wine, since my last video. It is springtime. Today I'm going to start spring off with my petite crab cakes. I am dedicating this video to Greg and Laura. Greg made me that beautiful clock that we showed you in the beginning of the video. Thank you, Greg. And Greg tells me he missed my videos. So the crab cakes are for you. They're very, very simple. Today I'm serving my crab cakes with wedge French fries and a mesclun salad with a light vinaigrette. You can serve these crab cakes with a sauce on the side for an appetizer. I also like serving these crab cakes with oil and garlic and spaghetti. So let's get started. We first start off with 1 pound of crab meat, lump crab meat, a cup and a half of Japanese panko breadcrumbs, 2 eggs well beaten, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, half a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons of minced parsley, 1/4 cup of scallions, 1 teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning, and 1/2 cup of heavy mayonnaise. This is really simple. We're just going to throw all of these ingredients in a bowl, mix it. I'm going to measure out 1/4 cup each for my petite crab cakes. So let's get started. Okay, so I said this was really easy. So a little bit about my crab meat. It just says hand-picked crab meat, and I find it's fine for $15. For $30, it says lump crab meat. But to tell you the truth, the difference with the lump crab meat was the claws were a little bit bigger, but when I emptied out the can, this is what it was, pieces. So I'll never make that mistake again. $15, look, that looks lump enough for me for petite little crab cakes. This is a cup and a half of the panko breadcrumbs, 2 eggs, what did I say, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, to get it all, tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. I'm using, I'm sure you all know, Lidl's just opened up. Their brand happens to be very good for a fraction of the price. A 1/2 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. I am so glad I had my parsley, fresh parsley in the freezer. There's 2 tablespoons. Here is 1/4 cup of scallions. I do put the scallions in water and they will grow again for me. In a week or 2, I'll have fresh scallions. A teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning. Here is we don't want to use light mayonnaise. We want the original heavy mayonnaise. All done. I like to use everything. I'm cheap. And don't waste my food. Okay, there you go. We're just going to mix this all together. This is always a hit. I'm going to serve this tonight with a mesclun salad. The dressing will be a cider vinaigrette. You don't want to use a balsamic or a wine vinaigrette to overpower the crab cake. I also serve this with oil and garlic and spaghetti. It's fabulous. If I'm making an appetizer out of this, which I will make the dressing on the side, I'll tell you about it later. It's just ketchup, mayonnaise, a little sriracha sauce, and maybe a little horseradish. There you go, done. So now what I'm going to do is measure that out in 1/4 cup measurements. So here's my 1/4 cup measuring cup. As simple as that. One. I usually get about 16. 2. 3. I'll be back as soon as I'm done measuring. Okay, out of this batch, I only got 13 of them. So here's my crab cake. I'm rolling it in the panko breadcrumbs. I'm going to do all 16 of them. And I'm going to put them in the refrigerator for an hour to chill. You want them firm because we're just going to lightly fry these until they're golden brown. So we want them firm so they don't fall apart. So I'll be back as soon as these sit for an hour. Okay, I tested it. You can see it's sizzling, it's coming to the top. You don't want to overcrowd the pan. Let me just wait till it gets a little hotter. There you go, starting to sizzle. You don't want the crab cakes on top of each other because they won't fry, they'll just steam. With the size pot I have, I'll probably do this in 2 batches. So there you go, a few minutes on each side. Now for the moment of truth. So here's my crab cakes with my fries and my mescalin salad. Just going to break this with my hands. This is my dressing. So my dipping sauce is equal parts ketchup, mayonnaise, and sriracha sauce. Delicious. Thank you for joining me today for another episode of Cooking with Janet Bari. Until next time, ciao, ciao.